All right, in today's video, we're gonna be talking about my pedal board, how I have everything set up, what I use it for, and how you can build one of these for your own application. Let's go ahead and take a look at what is on my board. Now, for the pedal board itself, I'm sporting the Temple Audio pedal board. There's a million YouTube videos on these systems, but after using wooden DIY pedal boards for so long, I thought I need something a little bit sturdier and something that I'd be able to beat up a little bit more and last a little bit longer. It's got these cool modules that you can purchase. Up here, I've got the 1/4 inch input, the DI mod, as well as the power cable mod. You can get as complex as you want with this. I know that people have got like dry, wet systems, some stereo systems that you can set up with the modules. But for what I'm using this is pretty simple. I just have a mono signal and this works great. Keeps things really clean instead of having, cables hanging out the bottom of your pedal board or whatnot. And talking about cables hanging out the bottom of your pedal board, I'm proud to say that my pedal board is finally clean. I used to bundle up cables and tuck them away underneath my pedal board and try to make things not seen. But now I can proudly show the bottom of my pedal board. Everything's tied down, everything's labeled on my power supply, and super clean. All right, like I said before, my pedal board's actually set up really simply. It's set up in series. What that means is instead of all of my pedals connecting to one looper or one switch or some, like a MIDI device, everything is ran in series. One pedal connects to the next, eventually to my output, which then goes to front of house. What it's allowed me to do is diagnose things on the fly, that if and when things break, I can fix them. So here's how my audio signal goes. My 1/4 inch plugs into the input on the side here to that module. And from there is a Y cable. One split from the Y cable hits my volume pedal, other one hits my tuner. The reason I have this set up is that if I need to turn down my volume but I still want to tune, I can do that, and my tuner is not going to cut out because I turned the volume pedal down. On the flip side of that, if I have my volume pedal turned up and I look down at my tuner and start noticing that diode veering off from the center, I know that my guitar is falling out of tune and I can then make the correction either between the song or later on down the road. Now, from the volume pedal goes into distortion land. I built this metal riser. I've actually got some cutscenes of when I was building that, and hopefully I can throw that on the screen. That way you can kind of see what that process was like. First up in distortion land, we've got the Soul Foods by Electro Harmonics. This is probably one of the most underrated distortion pedals in the market right now. It's basically a very transparent overdrive, which gives off similar sounds to like a Klon. Really inexpensive. I think I got this used for like 50 bucks, but it works great. And honestly, this is where a lot of my tone comes from. After the Soul Food, we are hitting the Overdrive by JHS pedals. I'm a huge JHS fan. I love what it is that they're doing over there. And I've got this pedal as well as a JHS Super Volt that I swapped out depending on the application that I'm needing it for. Got your basic knobs, volume, body, drive, as well as a gain switch depending on what sound it is that you're going for. And if I'm needing a little extra oomph without blowing people's ears out, this is what I'll switch on along with the Soul Food. Last but not least on the distortion side of things is this Nano Big Muff by Electro Harmonics. This is by far the craziest pedal that I've got on this board just because of the sound that it produces. If you're a fuzz enthusiast, you know. And I honestly rarely use this pedal, but when I need it, it comes in clutch and it just gives that powerful sound that I'm looking for. Now, after that distortion train, we go into the brains of the operation, which is this Line 6 HX effects. Basically, it's just a multi-effects unit, but the versatility that you can get with this thing is amazing. I've got mine set up here pretty simply. I've got the Klon. The reason I have the gain is because I've got a guitar with a little bit lower of an output, so instead of depending on the sound man to know the difference in my guitars, I can just flip that gain switch and make everything one continuous level. From there, once again, it just goes in series. We've got this big reverb. If I have a softer part in a song, I'll flip this guy on, and it just makes everything lush and beautiful. Next up, I've got this dotted 8 delay, a quarter delay. And last but not least, I've got this swells feature. The way that I have this switch set up is that it's only activated whenever my foot is on that pedal. It basically acts as like a huge reverb bomb. And so if I really want to accent a note, I'll tap it really quick, let go, and it'll just let that reverb ring out. And it sounds really beautiful. Now, the beauty of the HX effects is that you can save multiple banks of presets, but I've got mine set right here. You've also got a tap as well as a tuner on here. That way you can match tempo to whatever song it is that you're playing. Sweet, and last but not least, and probably the biggest game changer whenever it comes to my tone, is the Strymon Iridium. Now, I can't tell you how much of a difference the Strymon Iridium makes in my sound. You've got 3 different amps as well as 3 different cabs that you can use with those amps. You've got the ability to adjust your treble, mids, and bass, as well as a pretty cool room sounding feature. But if you're looking for something that's dependable and you're not lugging around a huge amp, I promise you, you will not go wrong with the Strymon Iridium or just a amp and cab sim. From there, it goes into that module that I mentioned on the side, and the output is XLR. That then runs to our IEM system, which I actually made a video about, so if you haven't seen it, go ahead and check out that video. But this is basically it. It's super simple, but this is perfect for the application that I need it for. And that's it. That's my whole pedal board setup. This guy travels with me everywhere it is that I go in its own designated Pelican case, and it has not let me down. Each and every one of these pedals serves an important role in the sound that I want, and I honestly think I wouldn't be able to play a normal full band gig without it. Now, I'm really into pedal board builds and suggestions from other people, so if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or suggestions for what I should use, definitely leave them down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing and sharing. And thank you so much for watching, and we will catch you in the next video.